Hello and welcome to Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets Super Bowl edition. I'm your host, Nick. Alongside me are my co-hosts, Scott, Tim, and Sir. How we doing?
It's happening.
Football's almost over, so sad.
Miserable.
That close to having a happy Sir on your hands, but unfortunately, hashtag sad Sir.
Hashtag Angry Bird Sir in the building.
Tim, I saw yesterday on my Facebook memories was the anniversary of when we went to the first XFL game.
I know. I was so excited. I saw the same thing, and I was like, I was going to send it to you, but I knew you looked at it too. It kind of hurts my heart a little bit. We had such amazing seats, and everything looked like it was going well until COVID hit us with a fucking Hogan leg drop and took the XFL right out.
In the end, I think there were only 3 weeks. 2 were home games. I think you went to one, and then you had a wedding on the other. So I went to one, and then I went to the other one with my wife. So I went to 2 XFL games. So it was a good time for that short, brief stint. But anyway, I think Scott wants to kick us off with something. So Scott, without further ado.
I think Tim is in this with me. I remember week 18 of the season, we had bashed the Bengals for benching their starters, saying that it was a bad idea. So I am here to eat crow, and I was completely wrong, and so was Tim. So congrats on the Bengals getting there. I guess it doesn't matter. It's all luck and just another team. It's like I said to you guys in the text. The Cowboys made the Super Bowl last time when I was in Little League. If you would have told me at that time that the Bengals would get there before them again, I would have bet my life savings that would not have happened. And it is just a depressing moment, again, as a Cowboy fan, that they haven't even been to an NFC championship. And the Bengals are in the Super Bowl. It's like, it's mind-blowing. But I'm happy about the Super Bowl because, personally, I don't have a rooting interest. I don't care who wins. It's one of those, whoever has the ball last, I hope it's a Hail Mary game-winning touchdown. And my box numbers hit.
That might have been the smartest thing you've ever said, oh boy. I hope my box is hit. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some financial gain out of this.
Importantly, it's about winning money. So
you know what I'm saying?
I think they provide some kind of promise to the future for teams that didn't make the playoffs this year, because weren't they like 5-11 the year before?
Yeah, and their quarterback coming off a torn ACL.
Yep. So anything can happen.
They were projected to finish 4th in the division.
Yep.
And it just goes to show you, us here, and we're around New York Sports Radio. The Bengals have one of the worst offensive lines in football. They chose a receiver over an offensive lineman. So all these Giant fans who've called up week after week saying Daniel Jones is only bad because of the offensive line, you know what? Make it happen. And Burrow, once again, I was wrong on him. I didn't think he'd be this good. But he looks like the real deal, and just another young quarterback getting there. And it's kind of a crazy time, just, I don't know what to say. It's just really cool to see this team, America's favorite.
They got a young squad, especially at receivers. Yeah. But they got a little young trio with Chase, Higgins, and Mr. Boyd. So they got a squad going here, and they got a squad that could hang around for years.
It certainly remains to be seen what will happen. But, of course, we're going to break down the Super Bowl itself. It's going to be a rather quick show because we only have the one game to talk about. If you guys want to log in and talk about some of the odds boosts or things and yay or nay, we could do that too. But if I had froze up, I'm going to give my prop bets the day of the Super Bowl. I'll give you my picks for the game, but I'll do my prop bets on Sunday. But
well, and those DKs offering a million different props, and there's so many things to offer. You could bet anything and everything.
Yep.
Great.
So I guess, Scott, we can hit the music. We can, I don't know if you want to recap. Now, this week might be a good week to recap because I went 2-0.
I think I went 0-2. I don't
want to do a recap. The recap is I went 2-0. So.
Yeah, so we'll go with the line we got. Rams are a -4.5. That's puts the Bengals at a +170. Over under 48.5. I think we should just pick the over under and who we think is gonna win. Might as well at this point. In the beginning of this week, I was thinking, man, the Bengals are kind of like being underappreciated here. Kind of insulted. And more so than a team I could remember in the Super Bowl. Even when the Giants beat the Pats, 7, I don't think the Giants were getting disrespected. I mean, it was a high number, but the Pats were 18-0. But this to me, 4.5. Maybe the Eagles versus the Pats were getting disrespected with Nick Foles. I don't even remember the line, but I was really leaning towards the Bengals, like, up until an hour ago. I don't know why. I just, like, I can't go against Stafford right now, so I want to pick the Bengals, man. I really do, but I'm just going to lay the 4.5 with the Rams. I think they could cover. It's, it's a 27-20 game. That's not what I'm picking. But I think it's going to be 31-20 Rams. I think the over will hit. So if you got 1-0, you better hope I'm right in your box pool. But I want to be wrong. I really think it'd be awesome to see, like, the young kids celebrate. But at the same time, I want Stafford to win, but I want Burrow to win. So, like, it kind of sucks.
It's a win-win scenario as a fan, having no vested interest in it. Right. You're either going to get a young guy getting his first ring, or the old vet who lived it through all of terrible Detroit teams to finally get his spot where he deserves. So,
yeah. And I think that the Bengals better win now, because we always talk about, like Sir said, they got a good young team. Next year they could go 7-10. Like, this happens with teams. You overachieve that one year, you come back and everyone's picking you, and all of a sudden you suck. So I think the Bengals, you got to win now. You don't know what could happen. So
actually, I think you have to win now, mainly because I've said before you have to actually pay your quarterback. Like, Burrow's probably making a good chunk of a decent amount, but until he gets this big deal, then you better win that ring early, because as soon as you pay your quarterbacks, teams start to not be able to pay the other people.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the over, and then I'll go with the Rams -4.5.
Unless you're Tom Brady, there's no guarantee you're ever getting back to the Super Bowl. That's just what it is. I guess I'll go next since I've cut everyone off talking anyway. Scott, I'm on the same page as you. I think it's more so to. I know everyone's going to be talking about Cincinnati's offensive line and how they can't stop a good pass rush, and I mean that's just what the Rams have. If you're telling me the most sacked quarterback has to deal with 2 edge rushers that could put you on your back at any point in time, and they're going to be ramped up to play. I think it's going to be more of the Rams defense winning the game necessarily than the Rams offense. So I'm going. What was the over? I didn't look at it.
48.5 right now.
I'll go under 48.5, and I'll go the Rams -4.5.
I think both these teams are going to put up some points, man. So like between, like, because as you said, the Bengals have one of the worst offensive lines, and the Rams are going to get after it. But like, still, like, you still got that young trio. Just as long as you get the ball out of his hands, ball into one of them, like, points are going to be scored. So I do like the over. Now, on the spread, I can't root for the Rams just because they ripped my heart out 2 weeks ago. But you know what? As a good friend, I hope that my friend gets this, because I know he has a little financial gain if the Rams win. So, but give me the Bengals +4. So maybe if the Rams win by like 3, I win the spread. He gets his little financial gain, and it is what it is.
I will absolutely take that double dip if the game is within 8 points and the Rams win. There will be a happy big time on Super Bowl Sunday for sure.
But as you said, though, like, I think the Rams are going to win on defense. So like, if they win it, it's going to be on defense. So maybe there's a couple MVP props that you might want to throw out there just for that. But we'll get to that later, I assume.
I'll take the Bengals in the over. It's more or less just, I mean, they've been disrespected, and I think I picked against them almost every round of the playoffs, and they've proven me wrong almost every round of the playoffs. So I would be a liar if I didn't say, I have a special place in my heart for teams that have never won a Super Bowl before. Obviously winning their first, so I'm certainly rooting for them for that. But I'm going to go the Bengals. I'm going to go the over, because I think if they're going to win, it's definitely going to be a high-scoring game. So
let me just propose a question, and because we didn't get to talk about what happened in the conference championships because we didn't have an episode last week, did Kansas City lose the game or did Cincinnati win the game? Like Kansas City just laid an egg in the second half. I mean, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. I think some of it has to do with the defense. I mean, they showed up. They held them to 3 points in the second half. So, they played well. But that decision, I guess Patrick Mahomes kind of overrided Andy Reid. Well, I won't say override it. He talked Andy Reid into going for it on that last play instead of kicking the field goal. And I'm sure they're kicking themselves that they didn't do that. So.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that though. Like that's your guy. If you just gotta trust, like he'd be smarter to throw the ball away. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, just check it down.
Yeah, like what are you doing? But and we could also put to rest. It's funny because the overtime
yep.
That
I
all
agree.
of a sudden, hey, the Bengals made a stop.
Yeah,
So
which is what I said last time. When you guys asked, should we change the overtime rules?
Yeah.
And I said, how about Buffalo just make a stop? Hey, guess what? The Chiefs won the toss. Guess what the Bengals did? They made a stop.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
I agree.
Easy for you to say, sir.
I think
your team could have used a couple more stops.
Yeah, well.
I think Kansas City, to your point, though, Kansas City gets a little too cute sometimes. I think like they feel like they can't be stopped ever. And like Mahomes even like sometimes take the 5 yards, and that's how teams started to beat them a lot. They started to drop back like 8, and it was like this guy is so used to the 40-yard play, he gets antsy, instead of like he doesn't want 5 yards, which will eventually lead to 7. He wants like the 50-yard. He plays it like we play Madden, kind of, just like oh. Fuck this screen pass, chuck it deep. And I think that's what sort of happens with the Chiefs, like, and Andy Reid with his play calling. Listen, the guy's been to he's led 2 teams to 4 straight championships, which is unheard of. He's one of the greatest coaches we'll ever see. But, my brother's an Eagle fan. You're an Eagle fan. And for years, I've heard him complain about some of Andy Reid's play calling. And I, as someone looking on the outside in, was always wondering why, because I didn't have great coaches. So maybe, he gets too smart for his own good. Sometimes football is not that hard, just fucking line up, ram it down your throat, stick with what's working.
He overthinks a lot. He is a classic overthinker, and he wasn't the best with his utilization of timeouts or 2-minute warning play calling, hurry up offense. I mean, we saw it in the Super Bowl itself with Donovan McNabb taking forever to kind of march down the field in the Super Bowl that they did lose to the Patriots. So
wait, Scott, you say teams should stick with what works?
Yes.
So when Raheem Mostert's running for 200 yards, why should Jimmy G throw more than 4 passes?
No, they shouldn't, but it doesn't mean Jimmy G's good. Like, I've never said that. Like,
stick with what works. A team should stick with what works. Oh boy,
right,
you just said it. Thank you.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean the quarterback is good. And I actually tell you, Jimmy G is not the problem that you lost that week. He was not the reason they lost to the Rams. I will not put that last interception on him because the guy was running for his life, just looking to make something happen. But there's a reason why they're going to move on from him after going to a Super Bowl and an NFC championship. If you're a really good quarterback, you're not leaving your team after that.
Not getting kicked off your team.
Not getting kicked off your team. By the way, Kirk Cousins, Pro Bowler, baby. Let's not forget.
Hey, so is Jalen Hurts.
I saw a meme. Those were the only quarterbacks available this weekend to play. Come on, now, man.
Can we touch on the Pro Bowl really quick? And
Absolutely not. Ain't nobody watch that thing.
What's the alternative to that? Like, what would you do? Would you just
don't do it? Just don't do it.
Just pay them their money. Like, all right, congrats, you made the Pro Bowl. And
literally just hold the skills competition, which is what they did, and then just NHL moved on from their normal 5-on-5 to this 3-on-3 all-star game, and I think maybe the NFL should do the same and just run fucking 7-on-7 flag football to the point where there's no blocking, there's no tackling that's needed to happen. Only one person was tackling anyone on the field, and it was your stupid fucking linebacker who thought it was still a real game.
Yeah.
Mika
The
Parsons.
only way to fix these things is to get ego in the game. And what I mean by that is the NHL did it first when they had the captains. Like if they like the NBA, when they do like Team LeBron, and if they did like LeBron versus Durant, I don't care what those guys say. At the end of that fourth quarter, their egos are on the line. That they picked the team and they want to win this fucking game. I think if you did that with football, like take the quarterbacks, Team Brady versus Team Rodgers, their ego is getting to some sort of fucking way there. And you saw the last, like, if the NFC got that ball back down 6 points with 2 minutes left, that vibe would have been a whole lot different. It with one drive left, it definitely would have. So there is ways to do it, but would we even watch?
Man, you know Pro Bowl is not legitimate when Kirk Cousins is playing in the ball game. Come on, stop it.
Pick six too.
First of all, the best part of that whole game was Mac Jones running after he got tackled and doing his little gritty in the end zone. I don't care. I'm a Jets fan. It made me fucking laugh. I was all about it.
Nick, what do you feel about the Russell Wilson rumors?
I like the fact that when there's video of him walking out the tunnel, and he was the only player to kind of go and shake hands with the fans, the kids that were there, as they were exiting the tunnel, and he signed one autograph, and it was on the hat of a Philadelphia Eagle.
Interesting.
So kind of funny, but no, I mean, if he come, who would be upset if he came? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it would come down to two things: for how long, and what are they giving up to get him? I mean, would I rather have him than Jalen Hurts? Yes, of course, but again, what are they giving up, and how long do they have him? So it'll be interesting for sure to see what happens. But yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Really quick, I won't be on Sunday if you guys like do a show or whatever. So I do have a couple prop bets if you want me to just throw.
I got some props, so.
All right.
Yeah, no, we'll hit the props.
Okay. Yeah. So MVP, just value wise, Burrow is a plus 225. Stafford's a plus 100. I saw. I would just go with the value and go with Burrow for more money because you feel like it will be a quarterback. You just get the feeling it will be. Over 63.5 receiving yards for Beckham. I think he's going to get a lot of targets this game, more so than Kupp. And I'll pair that with the longest reception over 23.5 as well for Odell. And I'll actually go with under 28.5. Cooper Kupp as a plus 105 for his longest reception. I think they won't let him behind him. If he gets it, it will be yard after catch, which he's great at. But give me a shot with the money. I think it'll be more of a Beckham show than Kupp show.
I got a couple. First one, you already know. I got burned on this one last year, but it's okay. I'm going back to it. Give me tails. I don't remember the exact. I think it was minus 105, but give me tails on the coin flip. Tails never fails. It's all right. The next one, jersey number of the first touchdown scorer. I like the under 23.5 at minus 140. The only way you get burned is if like T. Higgins scores first or like one of the tight ends. But like you got Kupp, you got Chase, you got Beckham, you got Sony Michel. If they all score, you're a winner. Next one, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Beckham, and Higgins all to have over 49.5 receiving yards at plus 160. Kupp's going to get his 50 yards. As Scott, you said you like Beckham, so Beckham get his 50. Jamar Chase should get his 50. T. Higgins get his 50. You got it. You know what I'm saying? So that's plus 160. Next one, Chase and Kupp over pretty much over 200 receiving yards at plus 105. It's a good bet to me. Burrow and Stafford over 4.5 touchdowns thrown. So I think it's going to be points going to be scored plus 145. That's another one. Also over 600 yards combined for Burrow and Stafford at plus 150 is another good bet. And both teams to score 25 plus and both quarterbacks to have 250 yards plus at plus 450 is another solid prop bet that I like.
If you think the overs are hitting, you're pretty much straight on. I have similar to both of you guys, so I also like the under jersey number for the first touchdown. I like Odell's overs in just about every category. I don't know if it's going to be a complete Odell takeover, but there's a reason why they got this guy, and if they're going to try to double Kupp, then it's going to be an Odell show, and it won't last very long if they double Cooper. I love the Rams over 3.5 sacks at plus 105. We talked about it. terrible offensive line, great pass rushers. Whether that actually, whether that happens or not, who knows? I like Sony Michel over 16.5 rushing yards. If Cam Akers fumbles again, he's just going to sit the bench. So that over will hit very easily. I threw a couple donkey bets in based on Stafford. I'm expecting him to have a good game. If he throws over 375 and throws for 3 touchdowns plus 1,000, it's not the most logical thing that could happen. And I like Odell's first touchdown at plus 900 as well. So I think I'm going to throw a couple donkeys on that. And to wager everything on one end, I also love Joe Burrow MVP just to kind of hedge my bets there. Because if the Bengals win, it's going to him.
All right.
Actually, also for the Super Bowl MVPs, though, like I might actually throw maybe like something on like Aaron Donald to like, because if it's if the defense cooks, he's going to get a bunch of sacks and disrupt the thing. So I forgot what his odds are, but it's probably pretty good. Like I think it's like plus 1,600. Yeah, so I thought it was plus 16. Also for the Bengals, maybe a slight donkey on T Higgins, just because if they're gonna guard up Chase, you figured Higgins might get loose, and on Chase Higgins is another dart throw, so to say the least. Obviously, everybody's gonna most of these quarterbacks, but if you want to go for a dart throw, I would say Donald or Higgins would be
for a touchdown to get an MVP. Like didn't Von Miller recover the touchdown, or was that a sack? I don't even remember.
He caused 2 fumbles.
Yeah, he was cooking that game. So I mean, as I said, you figured it might be a little, I don't know, something. I mean, it's safe to go Stafford or plus money, whatever, or Burrows go plus 300. But
after James White scored 3 touchdowns in the game and Brady still got the MVP, I don't know. I find it very hard to bet against any quarterback.
James White got the MVP that year.
No,
he didn't.
Brady gave him the truck.
Okay, I knew he got the truck.
Right.
That's all I remember.
You look at
Brady didn't need that thing anyway.
Peyton Manning in 2006, he didn't even deserve the MVP. Like Dominic Rhodes did, if I remember correctly. Like they just always give, like even Eli's second one or first one, he did not deserve. Like the defense deserves that, but they just give it to the.
But you can't give it to the whole defensive line. You got to get the one player.
Exactly. You just got to give it to the fucking. They should have gave it to Tyree for the fucking catch. 7, honestly, they actually should have. But I mean, a couple. Deion Branch won one for the Pats. That was one of them. Desmond Howard. Yeah, Desmond Howard for the Packers. Dexter Jackson for the Bucks. So it does happen. Larry Brown.
It does happen. I mean, the majority of them go to quarterbacks, right. But like as I said, dart throws. Like if you want to try to take a little chance.
Just 3 years ago, Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
Didn't he win the Rams? So.
And then who was the one when Roethlisberger did absolutely nothing? It was along for the ride. Antoine Randall threw a touchdown pass. I think he won the MVP that year. And then it could happen. You're right. But
all right, so all we need is Odell to throw a touchdown pass, and we're
Hines Ward.
Hines Ward won it, so he caught the touchdown.
Actually, both of Pittsburgh's Super Bowls, the one against the Seahawks and then the one against the other one was Antonio Holmes. So Big Ben never.
No, but like they could have gave it to Ben in that second one, and no one would have owned it.
They should have gave it to James Harrison, really.
Right, he saved that game. Yeah, that's. I think Rodgers won one. Who won the Flacco? Did they give it to Flacco?
Flacco did get it. Yep.
That's depressing. That's so depressing.
Future Hall of Famer. If Eli's getting in, so was Joe Flacco.
Nah, Flacco wasn't as good as Eli, but they're both kind of on the same.
They both sucked.
Yeah, they're both average quarterbacks. One just had more of a. If you're telling the story of the NFL, Eli's got to be in there because he beat the Pats twice. Flacco could be left out of the story of the NFL. Eli can't pick. That's kind of a good way to put it. Yes. All right, Nick, I think we're good.
I think that's it. So check out our Twitter at SBFS Show, especially on Sunday. We'll post some of our live bets for the game. Good luck to all of you guys. Thanks for tuning in all season long. Definitely drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Don't gamble. and drink, and I think I hit it all.
Just stay safe.
I can't agree with the last part. I can't.
Kind of like the whole basis of the show, drinking and gambling. So